Trump ordered to rescind sanction waiver on Chabahar port. This could impact the north-south international north-south transport corridor proposed by India. Trump wants to support the IMEC, India, Middle East, and Europe trade and transportation corridor instead, so that Israel can benefit from it. So yeah, his administration recently said that they are rescinding a sanctions waiver that the US had placed on the Chabahar port. So they have sanctioned Iran, etc., but they are not sanctioning the Chabahar port because India is using Chabahar. India is operating at least one terminal in the Chabahar port. But now the Trump administration says no, no more sanctions waivers for Chabahar. We're gonna sanction Chabahar. So it affects us now because we are operating Chabahar. Why are we operating Chabahar? Okay, let's go to the map. Once again, we need a map to understand what importance Chabahar holds for us, India. So here is the map of the region, and Chabahar is in Iranian Balochistan, not far from Gwadar. So this is Chabahar port. Let's zoom super deep. Let's put a satellite image on. This is on the Makran coast. And this is the town of Chabahar. And this is where you have the port. I think this is Chabahar port. And probably somewhere around here, we have India operating some part of this. Some part of this. Yeah, this is Chabahar port. Now, the reason this is important for us is that it allows us to have access to Central Asia via Iran. So when we have been supplying arms, weapon systems, etc., to Armenia. We have been doing that through Iran. So it goes probably to Chabahar from India, the weapon systems, and then they're transported by road through Iran and delivered to Armenia. That's what was happening. And Chabahar is important because that's how we are able to connect with Afghanistan. So we can have shipments shipped to Chabahar and then they're transported by road into Afghanistan because we lack direct access to Afghanistan and therefore Central Asia because Pakistan has cut that off from us. So now Trump says we're going to sanction Chabahar. So India can't use it anymore. So he's hurting India's interests. And he says, no, that's okay. You can't use Chabahar, but you can use this new thing which we will construct in the next 10, 15 years, the IMEC. The IMEC doesn't exist. It exists only in paper thus far. And for it to be fully constructed will take at least a decade. So, and obviously that will go through Israel and it will go through other countries which are all US allies. They will benefit from this. But for the next 10, 15 years, what do we do? Nothing, right? And yeah, so that's the deal. So this is another pressure tactic that Trump is applying on us because Mr. Modi is visiting the US in about 3 days. So Trump will have all these leverage points. We have the Yunus regime in Bangladesh that we can use against you. We have the Pakistani regime, which is our minion, our puppet, our vassal, which we can use against you. We are now sanctioning Chabahar. So that is something we are using against you. So we have all these pressure points and other things against you. And here are my demands for you. You got to do it for me, and then I will maybe give you something in return. So that sort of thing. So it's a bargaining position that's been opened. So yeah, there's nothing much India can do about this. The Americans will decide. The Americans are the all-powerful nation. There's nothing India can do about this right now, and that's okay. That's the way of the world. The Americans do much worse to their own allies in Western Europe, against the UK and all. I think we are still a sovereign nation, unlike the UK, unlike Germany, unlike all the EU or NATO nations. So we are in a better position, despite all this pressure that's been applied. And it's natural for a much more powerful nation to apply pressure in a variety of ways against nations that are less powerful. So that's the game. We've got to play the game, right?